From I can't to I can, 6 proven methods to overcome self-doubt. Are you tired of that nagging voice in your head telling you you're not good enough? Ready to silence those self-doubts and unleash your true potential? Well, this video is about to change your life. Hey there, amazing people. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects every single one of us at some point in our lives. Self-doubt. That's right. We're talking about that pesky little voice that makes you second-guess yourself and holds you back from achieving your dreams. Now, before we jump in, let's get real for a second. Did you know that according to recent studies, a whopping 85% of people struggle with low self-esteem? That's more than 8 out of 10 individuals walking around with self-doubt weighing them down like a ton of bricks. If you're part of that statistic, don't worry. You're in good company, and more importantly, you're in the right place. So why do we doubt ourselves so much? Well, it's actually a natural part of being human. Our brains are wired to protect us from potential threats, and sometimes that includes the threat of failure or embarrassment. It's like having an overprotective parent living in your head, always telling you to be careful, or maybe you shouldn't try that. That's why today we're going to arm you with 6 powerful strategies to overcome self-doubt and start believing in yourself like never before. These aren't just quick fixes or band-aid solutions. They're transformative techniques that can help you build lasting confidence and resilience. Are you ready? Let's dive in. 1. Remember that opinions are not always the truth. All right, let's talk about opinions for a second. You know that saying, opinions are like noses. Everybody has one? Well, it's true. And just like noses, not all opinions are created equal. Here's the thing. When someone shares their opinion about you, it's often more a reflection of their own experiences, biases, and insecurities than it is about you. It's like looking at yourself through a funhouse mirror, distorted and not at all accurate. The point is, you can't control what others think or say about you, but you can control how much weight you give to their opinions. So the next time someone's negative opinion starts to creep into your thoughts, take a step back and ask yourself, is this really the truth about me, or is it just one person's perspective? Try this exercise. Write down a negative opinion someone has expressed about you. Now write down 3 reasons why that opinion might not be accurate or complete. This can help you see the situation more objectively and not let others' opinions define you. 2. Be patient with yourself. Now let's talk about patience. In today's world of instant gratification, where we can get meals delivered in minutes and binge watch entire TV series in a day, we often expect results to happen overnight. But here's a little secret. Real, lasting change takes time. Think about it like this. If you were learning to play the piano, would you expect to be a concert pianist after just one lesson? Of course not. You'd understand that it takes practice, dedication, and yes, patience to develop that skill. The same goes for personal growth and overcoming self-doubt. It's not about flipping a switch. It's about making small, consistent changes over time. It's like planting a garden. You can't make the flowers bloom faster by yelling at them or pulling on the stems. All you can do is provide the right conditions, nurture them consistently, and trust in the process. So, how can we cultivate patience? One effective technique is to keep a progress journal. Every day, write down one small thing you did to work towards your goals or overcome your self-doubt. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every success story includes chapters of struggle and self-doubt. So be kind to yourself, celebrate your small victories, and remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. 3. Don't define yourself by one moment in time. All right, pop quiz time. How many moments do you think make up your entire life? Thousands? Millions? Billions? The answer is too many to count. So why do we sometimes let one single moment, a mistake, a failure, or a setback, define who we are? It's like judging an entire movie based on one scene, or a book by a single page. It just doesn't make sense. Your life is a rich, complex tapestry of experiences, and each moment is just a tiny thread in that bigger picture. Yet our brains have this annoying tendency to focus on the negative, a phenomenon psychologists call negativity bias. It's like our minds are Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. But here's the good news. We can train our brains to see the bigger picture. One powerful technique is to practice mental time travel. When you find yourself fixating on a negative moment, try this. First, think back to a time before this moment. Remember who you were, what you had accomplished, what strengths you possessed. Now imagine yourself in the future, having moved past this moment. What have you learned? How have you grown? What new experiences await you? This exercise helps put that one moment into perspective, reminding you that it's just a small part of your ongoing story. 4. Face your fears. Now let's talk about something that might make you a little uncomfortable. Fear. We all have fears, whether it's public speaking, starting a new venture, or putting ourselves out there in a relationship. And you know what? That's totally normal. Fear is a natural human emotion that has helped our species survive for thousands of years. It's like having a built-in alarm system that alerts us to potential dangers. But in our modern world, that alarm system can sometimes be a bit overactive. Here's the thing about fear. It's often more bark than bite. In fact, neuroscientists have found that 85% of the things we worry about never actually happen. That means we're spending a whole lot of energy on what-ifs that probably won't ever come to pass. So how do we face our fears? Well, it's not about eliminating fear altogether. That's not realistic or even desirable. Instead, it's about learning to act in spite of fear. It's about being brave. And remember, bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. One effective technique for facing your fears is called exposure therapy. The idea is to gradually expose yourself to the things that scare you in small, manageable doses. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, you might start by speaking up more in small group discussions. Then you might volunteer to give a short presentation to a friendly audience. Each small step builds your confidence and shows your brain that the feared outcome isn't as bad as you imagine. So start small, take baby steps, and gradually expose yourself to the things that scare you. With each small victory, you'll build confidence and prove to yourself that you're capable of so much more than you thought. 5. Appreciate your uniqueness. Okay, time for a little thought experiment. I want you to imagine a world where everyone was exactly the same. Same looks, same talents, same personality. Sounds pretty boring, right? The truth is, your uniqueness is your superpower. Those quirks, those peculiarities, those things that make you different. They're not flaws to be fixed, they're gifts to be celebrated. But in the age of social media, it's so easy to fall into the comparison trap. We see carefully curated highlights of other people's lives and think, why can't I be more like them? But remember, you're seeing their highlight reel, not their behind-the-scenes footage. Everyone has struggles, doubts, and imperfections. They just don't usually post about them on Instagram. So how can we learn to appreciate our uniqueness? One powerful exercise is to create a unique strengths inventory. Take some time to reflect on what makes you, well, you. What are your special talents or skills? What personality traits set you apart? What experiences have shaped you in unique ways? Instead of comparing yourself to others, try this. Make a list of 5 things that make you unique. Maybe it's your sense of humor, your creativity, or your ability to see things from a different perspective. Embrace these qualities and think about how you can use them to your advantage. 6. Break down big goals into smaller steps. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about goals. Big, audacious goals are great. They give us something to strive for and can be incredibly motivating. But they can also be overwhelming, especially when we're battling self-doubt. It's like standing at the bottom of a mountain, looking up at the peak. From that perspective, reaching the top can seem impossible. But here's the secret. No one climbs a mountain in one giant leap. They do it one step at a time. The solution? Break those big goals down into smaller, manageable steps. It's like eating an elephant. Not that we recommend that. You do it one bite at a time. Let's say your goal is to write a book. Instead of focusing on the daunting task of writing hundreds of pages, start with something smaller. Maybe your first goal is to write for 15 minutes a day or to outline your first chapter. As you tick off these smaller goals, you'll build momentum and confidence, making that big goal seem more and more achievable. Now here's a bonus tip. Celebrate your progress along the way. Too often we're so focused on the end goal that we forget to acknowledge how far we've come. Every small win is a victory over self-doubt, so give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. So the next time that little voice of self-doubt starts whispering in your ear, I want you to stand tall, look it right in the eye and say, "Not today, doubt. I've got this." Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these strategies resonated with you the most? Do you have any other tips for overcoming self-doubt? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might be just what someone else needs to hear. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more self-improvement tips.